The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
No one knows better than HR that happy colleagues make happy businesses. With the world's largest online mental health provider, you get access to over 35,000 therapists, a match in as little as 24 hours, and that's not all. We onboard your people in days, not months, with no upfront fees and pay-as-you-go pricing. Now that's better. BetterHelp Business. Now get back to business with that podcast of yours.
Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content which may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives, the podcast where a monogamous couple drink heavily while recapping Sister Wives on TLC.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is episode 13. The heat is on.
Ooh, the heat is on. They weren't kidding. We bust into this episode like full throttle.
Yeah.
They were going hard.
Things escalated quickly.
Right out the gate. But no, yeah, it was quite an experience.
There's a lot to unpack here, no pun intended.
All right, if there's anything that the Browns are used to doing, it is packing and unpacking.
Let's unpack our baggage first.
Yeah, let's go over a couple of housekeeping here.
Quick announcement before we get started. The audience survey will be open until Saturday, April 11th. So that is the day before the next episode will come out.
So be sure to log in using the link provided in the episode description. There's also a nice big red-orange button on our Podbean page where you can go and click on that and it pulls you right into that survey.
So go ahead, do that. Help us make the podcast better. We really appreciate all of the responses that we've gotten so far. And you guys are going to help us to figure out what we do next once this season at some point comes to an end.
Yeah, some point we'll be put out of our misery here.
I've been trying to figure out exactly when that will be, but there's no end in sight. As soon as we know when we're getting to a tell-all, we'll announce that. We'll let y'all know.
And then we'll keep you posted. Yeah, we've already gotten a bunch of good ideas about how to continue on, moving forward with different types of content and also Sister Wives related content. So we'll keep you posted moving forward.
All right. So jumping into things here.
We got the good old TLC episode description to kick it off here.
Yes, we do.
All right.
A classic, as always.
I'll try my best. A forest fire is bearing down on Meri's house, and she's preparing to evacuate. Robyn is just days away from losing her rental, and tensions are high with Kody. Lastly, Madison is having contractions and thinks the baby is coming tonight.
I mean, the most dramatic part of that description is the first sentence with Meri and the fire, and I will say
they did not disappoint with that. There was a lot of fire stuff going on, for sure. But before we get into the details here,
gonna have to hit you with another episode description.
Carly's episode description.
The alt description.
Let's hear it.
Meri smothers a forest fire with LuLaRoe t-shirts. Robyn sports a founding father ponytail. Kody plays eenie-meenie-miney-mo to decide who needs him most.
The best way to do it. Democratic process, which Robyn knows a lot about. Yes, founding father ponytail. I feel like she learned that one from Kody. They're sharing hair
Trading
bands.
hair tips now.
Yeah, they have it's just a whole drawer full of them running around. Hair ties. That was it.
All right. Overall thoughts about the episode. I'm I have mine ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about this a lot. Thank God for Meri.
It wouldn't be a show without Meri.
Okay, I have to preach a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So we say a lot of stuff about Meri, make a lot of jokes. She's not really our favorite person, but let's be real. Meri brings the drama to this show.
Absolutely.
Take Meri out, and this is some boring ass shit.
Yeah, it'd be mostly revolving around Maddie's birthing process, and that would be a real drag.
Especially this episode. It
Yeah.
would have been a snooze fest if we did not get to see Meri running around, psychotic, on the verge of a nervous breakdown, pointing at random pieces of china, rubbing her eyebrows off. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This was top-notch quality reality TV.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've already established multiple times too, there's not really like a favorite. It's just we like to make fun of all of them equally. The dislike and jokes are shared equally amongst the entire family, but we can pretty much guarantee that Robyn's going to get hit with both barrels every time. That's the only thing I can promise you.
We open at Meri's new rental, which we have been robbed of a proper tour of this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because God misheard Robyn's prayers and has attempted to burn down Meri's rental.
Yeah, God was like, all right, where do you need this? You want rental?
You want a rental?
Or you want to see Meri's
Things
rental?
got kind of scrambled. Couldn't hear you too clearly. I'm burning down Meri's rental.
She kept saying...
I think that's what you wanted.
She kept talking about the house on the heel. I don't know what that was.
She doesn't really pronounce words properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised that God got confused.
Yeah.
So there's a large forest fire closing in on Meri's rental. She's received a pre-evacuation notice at this point. So naturally, in the theme of all things season 14, she's attempting to move out of her house that she's currently in the process of moving into.
Yeah, the stutter step move, the halfway house, I guess, of moves, pretty much.
At this point, they should just park a truck outside for like a solid week. Let's just make sure we're staying here, that this is permanent.
Oh, we've done that.
We might need to take this shit back out of the house again.
Yeah, I've done that. You tack on a couple extra days for the moving truck rental. It's like, well, just in case.
Just in case.
Maybe.
It's crazy. It's like a war zone. And Meri, we see, is quickly becoming undone.
She's
at
a wreck.
She's at her wit's end. And she decides that if it burns down, it burns down.
Which is, when I move, that's pretty much the base. That's my baseline.
Yeah, once you get through probably like the first 3-4 hours of moving and you're getting to those miscellaneous items that don't fit in a box anymore.
Leave it.
Burn it.
Throw it away.
Give it to someone else.
I don't care.
I don't care what happens to it.
I don't want to see it.
I never owned it.
I don't want to see it on
I never
this
want to
chart.
see it again.
No.
Just get rid of it. So I can understand where Meri's coming from here.
Yeah.
And thank God that's her attitude, because there is no room to save Meri's things.
Yeah, this was a beautiful part of the episode where Kody mentioned that their big trailer is currently full of Robyn's stuff.
Right. Robyn's in the middle of her move that we've spent multiple episodes discussing and care to discuss no longer. And she's hogging all of the family trailers.
So Kody then takes it upon himself. He runs, into the fires and tries to rescue Mary's grandmother's table.
Grabs the bull by the nuts.
Yeah. Grabs the nuts by the, I don't know. Grabs the nuts by the U-Haul, and he's going to go rip out of there and go drop a bunch of Robyn's stuff off at Christine's storage unit. So we're all just sharing resources here. It's good. It's a family move.
A lot of places to stash things in this family.
There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of different scenarios that are taking place here. So the plan is go drop off all this stuff at Christine's storage unit, come back with a large empty trailer to Mary's house, where she can then pick those vital items that she must have out of her house and out of harm's way ASAP.
Meri's bringing the drama. Everyone else in this family, Christine, Janelle, Robyn, vanilla bitches. Meri, an extra bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And she's showing it. Meri is the reality TV star we deserve right now.
It's true.
She's tired of Christine clowning around. She's frantically opening dozens of Robyn maids.
Robyn maid? Robyn maids?
Oh, let me start that over. She's frantically opening dozens of Rubbermaid tubs in the garage, taking nothing out of them, and then putting the lids back on.
Yeah, just looking in. I don't know what any of this shit is.
I've never seen this in my life. I own this.
What the hell is this? Whose truck came here?
And in the middle of this chaos, Meri's crying. She's rubbing her face. I guess she's sweating from the heat that's radiating off of this fire that's approaching her home. And she asks if her eyebrows are still on.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the eyebrows.
Let's talk about the eyebrows.
I've been waiting for an opening on this one.
Okay.
Because we need an eyebrow intervention in this family. No?
I don't know. So? No, I don't know where to go with this.
Oh, I've got it.
I have less than zero input on this.
Oh, no. You've commented on Robyn's eyebrows before. Don't say you haven't.
Robyn's eyebrows?
Mm-hmm. I'll get there. Dr. Robyn now psychoanalyzes Meri on the couch and talks about how, you can't control what's going on with the fire, but Meri can control drawing her eyebrows on. That's something she can control. Robyn, then let's take control and stop drawing uneven commas on your face. Because those eyebrows be looking busted this season. Ladies out there, you know what I'm talking about. Robyn's got a stencil. You know what? I don't even think she has a stencil. I think she's freehanding it because they're not even.
I can't speak to the eyebrows. I just know Robyn for her scowl that she has now. Because Meri has the pout, the frown. That's kind of her look. And then Robyn has just kind of like I don't know. It's hard to represent the visual aesthetic auditorily.
Cut back to Meri flipping out about how she has to repack everything.
And it's very important stuff, right? Knickknacks. More knickknacks.
By the way, I looked up pre-evacuation wildfire checklists.
Okay.
And none of them recommended that you attempt to completely repack and move out of your home.
Well, she's not repacking if she never unpacked, technically.
Loophole.
That's a loophole. So then that's how you get this stuff back on the truck. Because she did at one point grab a box in the garage, open it up, had no idea what it was. And she was like, well, at least I didn't unpack it, but I guess we can take that stuff.
Those were the little statues.
Yeah, the statues.
I was waiting for Robyn to agree that she needed to take those.
You need.
Robyn was like, are those Christmas statues?
Are
they
those.
angel statues?
Yep, all of those.
You need those in your home.
So then Meri starts rattling off a bunch of things that people in her family had painted. Different ornamental, ceramic looking.
She's frantically running around the china cabinet at this point. And she, like you said, she's yelling about packing all the china. And then for some reason, she feels the need to go into detail about which woman in her family painted each of these pieces of china, as if that's important at this point.
Her mom painted some, her grandmother painted some, Mariah painted some, she painted some. And it was like, yeah, we get it. The family painted these and we need those. I'll put it in a box.
This is when Meri's mental breakdown has peaked.
Yeah. Rare form.
Yeah. She's having a full-blown panic attack and all of the kids are avoiding getting too close to her, which is, I think, one of the funniest parts of this footage if you go back and watch it again. Christine's kids are like kind of giving each other side eye when she's freaking out in the garage. Robyn's kids are keeping their distance. Nobody's speaking to her.
It's not the first time, and you know not to get into the path of this storm.
Bitch is off kilter.
Because Christine kind of does, where she asks Meri if she needs anything, and that's enough for Meri to bark. She almost bites. It was close. Because Christine has this innate ability, Meri points out later, to make stuff funny, which is usually a good thing.
Usually people find that an endearing quality, but not Meri.
Not today.
As they're packing, well, it's confusing. As they're unpacking or repacking, I don't know.
Various forms of pack and unpack.
They're going through Meri's home and just discovering random objects in boxes. So Meri calls Robyn over to show her something that she's found in a box, a treasure, and she unveils her framed marriage certificate.
Because, we're not joking anymore. This is all very serious.
Robyn jokes that they should just burn them all, which I guess she means her marriage certificate too.
Yeah, she was basically saying, yeah, well, if you're going to burn yours, then I'll burn mine.
And their bras.
And the bras.
I was like, because you're so liberated? ?
It's just a term that Robyn has heard in the past. So she just decided it would be appropriate to bring up in a discussion where you're burning things.
Now, the best part of this is that Meri says, as Robyn walks away, actually, I'm keeping it, and puts it back in the box.
I actually just called you over here so you could watch me put it in the box.
So that you could be reminded that I was the first legal wife.
I wanted to make direct eye contact with you while I placed this into the box. You see it? It's going in the box right here.
I feel like we need to start a poll. How many listeners have framed their marriage certificates? Is this normal? I feel like it's not.
I feel like it's a very campy thing to do. It's very, well, I don't know. When were they married?
In the 90s, the very early 90s.
I was going to say, it seemed like an 80s thing to do. I don't know why.
I'm not really sure why you would do that.
Yeah, obviously they didn't have it hanging up.
A lot of times you're asked to make copies of your marriage license.
Or bring it in as a form of ID.
Else? Hold up, rewind. Was it a marriage license or a certificate? It looked like a certificate.
Like when you open a cereal box and it has a treat inside for you or a prize?
Yeah, like when you get called to the principal's office and you get a Student of the Month award.
Yeah, or like exemplary attendance.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah, it was less official than that, actually, because there wasn't even like a golden sticker, like
no,
a
there
seal.
Was a seal.
Oh, there was a seal? Okay. That did not stand out to me.
You should see our marriage license.
I couldn't even tell you what it looks like.
It looks like it was forged in Microsoft Word.
Well, that makes me feel good.
The city of Key West does not really deal in formalities. They're not putting golden seals on anything. But I digress.
Mm-hmm.
Robyn now reminds us that in plural marriage, only one wife can be the legal wife. And that's now her.
It's the Thunderdome. We've already established that.
And she doesn't think it's fair that they can't all have a legal marriage to Kody, because plural marriage is so unfair in that way. And she really wishes that there was just some way that they could either all have a legal marriage or none of them have a legal marriage.
I could come up with a few ideas on how to make one of those scenarios happen. Yeah.
Can't wait for season 26. What is this? Season 14?
Yeah, it just feels like a lot. It feels like we're in the 20s now.
For season 19, where Robyn and Kody get a divorce.
No, if anybody's
Robyn.
going, it's Meri. Mary's going first.
She already did.
She's already out. She's
had her turn. Robyn, you've had your turn as the legal wife. It's time for you to get a divorce. They should do this. It should be like every 5 years, you get a divorce.
Yeah, rotate.
And he marries the next one.
Rotate, yeah.
Why not?
That works. That would be an interesting dynamic.
Why does Robyn get to stay the legal wife? She's very passionate about this cause to be the legal wife.
We learned, a deep nugget here about her mom.
Deep down inside, Robyn really cares about this because her mom was his second wife. So she was always just a spiritual wife.
Number 2.
Never recognized as legal. Never felt like she was the official wife. Makes you wonder a little bit, doesn't it?
That's where Robyn knew where the power was, and she knew she had to get her claws on it.
Makes you wonder about all of that Mrs. Brown talk, too.
Makes you think, yeah.
Next, Robyn tells us that Craig told her that... and
Craig?
Yeah, I wanted to say his make name. Craig! Next, Robyn tells us that Craig told her and Kody to fuck off about renting their home. So now they're working on closing on a different house that they've now decided to just go ahead and buy. But they might have to move out before they close. So they're going to short-term rent the home they're trying to buy.
That's the solution to everything. And
technically, Robyn did get a rental.
Right. Yeah, the real tragedy here is thinking that they even had that as an option to rent that, because that was never going to happen. That was never going to happen.
No. We get into an interesting tidbit here where you have to listen closely. Robyn starts talking again about the house that they're going to buy. She uses the phrase Kody picked it multiple times in the course of 3 or 4 sentences. She's really trying to get across that she didn't pick this house. She didn't want this $900,000 house.
That's her story, and she's sticking to it?
Yes.
I suppose.
For now.
That's been the strategy that we kind of worked up was, again, every time that she says no to buying, Kody has to come back with bigger and better to impress her and appease her enough to make this jump because she doesn't want to rent. So I have to make buying such a great decision for her that she can't help but do it.
It was also interesting because Meri didn't seem to know anything about this. Because as they're trying to move her out of the house, she and Robyn are talking about how stressful everything is. And Robyn explains all this background that we just gave. And Meri looks at her like she's crazy and has 10 heads and can't believe that this is even going on. So I am wondering how many family members are actually aware of this house and how much it costs.
Everybody was on board with a large house because they need a gathering place. So that was always the deciding factor here. Robyn does need a big house. So whether she rents one or buys one, we got to have some place to have Thanksgiving. That's what it comes down to.
That's worth $900,000.
Any way you cut it, that's worth it. That's a lot of turkey.
How much stuff of grandma's does Meri have?
There's a lot of grandma stuff, and there's a big table. There's
an armoire.
Yeah.
They basically move like 90% of the furniture in this house out into a trailer.
And that's all like heavy old wood, like Amish built furniture.
Well, her house would have gone up like a tinder box.
Oh, yeah.
All that old furniture covered in lacquer.
One quick little gust of wind and it's gone, man. And all that LuLaRoe polyester, it would have just been black smoke and inferno flames.
Meri runs off to save that LuLaRoe next.
Yeah.
She's off to rescue it, but she doesn't really want to leave the house because she would prefer to just stay there and work.
That is the kicker of this entire segment. There's a full-on panic, which leads to chaotic activity that's taking place, trying to accomplish a loosely set goal, and then getting almost to that finish line to where Kody was thinking, let's get Meri out of harm's way. That's the goal. And Meri's thought is, no, I'm going to stay. I'll be here, though, because I can work. And I'm not leaving until they tell me I have to leave.
Right, because reminder, she's under a pre-evacuation order.
Not an evacuation. They'll come knocking on her door when she needs to go. So she's going to stay until she needs to go.
She's going to stay and continue to sell that LuLaRoe apparel. Trash.
And then, of course, we're not joking anymore, but Janelle makes a joke that Meri will have to have a fire sale.
That was actually, okay, I've seen it done before very successfully. If anyone has seen Kale Lowry's fire sale.
Oh, God.
It was a fire sale.
But I feel like, yeah, there would be like almost a premium on these clothes then that would sell. They would have like a, I don't know, you could say that they're like
I
seasoned.
survived.
Well, yeah, and like they're like
a forest fire.
Got a little smoky scent on them. A little flavor to them.
They come with a little something extra.
Yeah, just like Meri.
Kody always knows what to say to Meri because he says, why doesn't she leave the house? Why doesn't she just go to lunch with her sister wives instead? Because she wants to do that for sure. Just go to lunch with your sister wives, relax while your rental burns to the ground.
Christine calls him out on it right away as if you're going to be able to go and get your mind off of this. You'd just be worrying the whole time that your house is burning unoccupied and unaware.
Christine goes into some like strange improv, pretending to be Meri and trying to go back to the house mid-fire. It was like she was all hopped up on Mountain Dew or crystal meth.
You know, or both. You can do both.
She's talking a million miles a minute. It was scary.
Yeah.
I couldn't really make out exactly what she was saying.
There was hyperspeed talk. There was a lot of over talking because then Kody was still trying to interject. There was cutting away, but she was still going. There was no getting out of that.
Maybe they have ulterior motives.
In what way?
Encouraging Meri to stay, backing her decision.
Ah.
Stay in the house that the forest fire is moving quickly towards, Meri.
Oh. I feel like this is all a big lesson to Meri. If she had any doubts about building in the trees on Coyote Pass, let this be a lesson. Trees burn. So we know that she was starting to veer away from that idea because it's so dark in the trees, right? They just eat up the light.
It's dark in those trees until they light up on fire.
Until they burst into flames and they're coming through your front door. Those trees are coming to get you. You got to watch your back.
Kody finally gets a moment alone with Meri in the middle of all this, and she's clearly distraught.
This is a fucking wreck. This is a train wreck of an interaction right here.
So everyone else at this point in the family has hugged her, tried to comfort her a little bit.
Or let her yell at them.
Yeah, just taking it.
To get some aggression out.
What does Kody do? He mansplains wildfires to her.
Not only that, yeah, they're like packing the trailer and he just starts rambling like he does.
You could tell that he doesn't spend much time alone with Meri because it was like he had no idea what to talk to her about, especially because she was so upset.
Oh, and he was scared because he's seen Meri this mad before, and he's like, I don't want it. I don't want it on me. Don't put it on me. Please don't.
So he just started talking about all kinds of random facts about wildfires, California for some reason.
Fighting fires.
The word slurry at one point.
What they drop onto the fires.
Explaining how all the helicopters going overhead operate. All things Meri wanted to know.
Laughing and smiling while talking in those manners too, directly to Meri, where it's like, maybe you could have took a second and just hugged her or like
asked her if she was doing okay.
Well, you know she's not doing okay.
Not well, bitch.
Not well. Not well, bitch. So maybe just taking a moment to, hug her, console her, tell her it's going to be all right. They're working on, like we'll get through this. Any sort of...
No reassurance given at all.
No reassurance, no affection. Yeah. It was quite a missed opportunity.
It was almost like he was just a hired mover who showed up that day, or like a distant family friend who was available.
Just day laborer.
Just watching someone freak out who they don't know very well, not sure what to do. Can someone else handle this? I don't really want to be alone with her for too long.
The fires get pretty big. So
Kody packs that truck up and runs out of town.
Yeah, he's going to go park it over at Janelle's.
Kody packs that truck up and burns rubber out of there.
burns rubber before the tires melt so he can get out of there.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you? If people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else. Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
Expressing your love can look many different ways. And with the right jewelry gift from Blue Nile, it can truly sparkle. Blue Nile's collection of classic diamond jewelry makes for the kind of gift that speaks volumes without saying a single word. Or switch things up with a sapphire piece sure to spark conversation. Either way, Blue Nile's Diamond Guarantee ensures you get the highest quality at the best price. Express yourself with Blue Nile and get up to 30% off at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com.
No one knows better than HR that happy colleagues make happy businesses. With the world's largest online mental health provider, you get access to over 35,000 therapists, a match in as little as 24 hours, and that's not all. We onboard your people in days, not months, with no upfront fees and pay-as-you-go pricing. Now that's better. BetterHelp Business. Now get back to business with that podcast of yours.
Now, someone gave Maddie her own confessional cam while the film crew is gone, so we can take the level of interest in this episode from an 8 down to a 1.
Aye. And even, I feel like her cell phone would have done better video than whatever camera they left her, right? Like, it looked not great.
Yeah, they didn't teach her the settings on that camera before they left.
I feel like if you just had an iPhone and just filmed that.
Maybe they didn't leave her a camera.
I don't know.
Maybe that she just found this. Janelle gave it to her.
It was left over.
Like, you might need this. We don't have a lot going on this season. We're talking a lot about moving. If you could maybe document your pregnancy journey for us, it's probably going to come a major plot point of the show.
It was left over in one of Kody's boxes from the move.
Hey, we found this in Meri's house as we were moving her out.
Yeah, it was in one of the Vegas houses when we had to get out of there.
So Maddie's having contractions. It's 3 weeks out from her due date. Janelle rushes to come to be with her because Maddie thinks she's in labor. Janelle is wearing her scarf in a way that I've never seen before in her confessional.
Yeah, this was quite a conversation on the couch here where the draping, right?
Yes. It was, first of all, the scarf changes position multiple times throughout the episode if you watch closely. This one where it's just thrown
and
over
believe
her
me,
shoulders.
We did. We watched closely.
I'm a big fan of the 12 ways to tie a scarf pins on Pinterest.
Okay.
I've never seen this done before. I also have been watching the White House press conferences very closely. Dr. Birx.
Too closely.
If anyone has, you can pick up a lot of tips from her on how to tie a scarf.
She's got a lot of scarves.
She's worn them many a way.
She's got a scarf
Never
game.
this way.
She's got a scarf game on point.
We see the birthing center that Maddie plans on giving birth in. Then we have to see her birth footage again from Axel where she had a home birth.
Because it ain't an episode of Sister Wives without a flashback.
Well, I'm voting for them to burn that footage.
Sheesh.
Throw it in that wild forest that's on fire. We never want to see it again. I never want to hear Maddie scream again. Pull it out. Is that what she was yelling?
Repeatedly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you said it the first time, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, yeah, you got to time it, right? 9 months ago would have been a good spot for that.
Good time to yell that. I've always been curious about birthing centers, and this answered a lot of things for me. The midwife has Maddie lay on a bed.
Mm-hmm.
Do they change the sheets after every patient? I was concerned.
Well, yeah, from the exterior, I mean, this looked like almost like a Red Roof Inn.
It was like you showed up, walked down a hallway, and all of a sudden you were in a studio apartment where you're going to give birth with a woman. And
a laminated piece of paper on the wall that said this room is ready for birth.
Not very official. And a salt lamp.
Well, yeah, Himalayan salt lamp, though. That's
a needed item.
That's official.
You know, got to make sure the ions in the room are balanced.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all we have to say about that. Back in Flagstaff, Kody says that he and Robyn are moving out of our home.
Right.
So again, this is their home, not Robyn's moving out of her home, like Janelle moved out of her home, or Meri moved out of her rental. They're moving into the home that they're in the process of buying, but instead they're going to pay some crazy ass rent in the short term to rent it.
Financial problems require financial solutions.
At one point, Kody mentions that they're paying daily.
Yikes.
By the day. For not only the rental, the house that they are paying $900,000 for, but also for the U-Hauls.
Which there are multiple U-Hauls.
Also, you know, I highly doubt they're this smart, but I hope that they negotiated that once they closed on the house, or when they got to that point, I don't know if they can still negotiate the sale price of the home, but they should get back the money that they spent to short-term rent it.
Or like put it towards the
home.
Yeah, probably not.
Just saying.
That's in addition
Obviously,
to
their short-term, the fear is that they're going to let these people move in. and they don't have a contract, like a long-term contract, and that the sale may fall through and that now they have these weirdos in their house.
Yeah.
So they're making them pay a crazy amount of rent to be there each day.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's not really inconveniencing them at all.
Because the sellers were like, oh, they want to move into the house before it closes. Just make it like an asinine amount then per day so that they won't do it. Because that'll be a total pain in the ass, right? And they
still did.
And the real estate agent comes back. They're like, no, yeah, they said that that's cool.
They make a big deal about talking about how the house is fully furnished. Because, again, it was a short-term rental. That's what it was before they short-term rented it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's full of furniture. It's got towels. It's got everything you can need to live in a house. And everything inside's going to be theirs once they close.
Mine.
It better be for $900,000.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope everything in that house stays. I can't wait to see what they do with all this furniture.
Yeah, where's that going to go?
I don't know, because they talk about the fact that they have to move all of this furniture out to then move all of their furniture in.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait, because I hope that we're going to see what they do with it. Do they ask any of the other 3 wives if they need any of it first, if anybody wants anything?
Probably, I would assume that they're going to put it in storage. So then that way, when they do eventually move to Coyote Pass, when they build those houses, they can move all of that stuff that was existing in this house back into it and make it a rental again.
That would be, okay, that's smart. I don't know. Do we think they'll do it? Let's take bets.
If they do that, then Kody would basically say, oh, I'll just put it all in a U-Haul and then I'll just pay for the U-Haul for 3 years.
We're just going to park it on Coyote Pass. They're going to get one of those pods.
Yeah.
A bunch of pods. Coyote Pass is just going to be covered in pods.
Guys, we know that they bought a pond, but now they've bought a parking lot. It's great. It's a carport.
Did anyone else catch the mover with the dolly in the background? Because you did, Corey.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. It was right around the time. I can't remember exactly which point it was, but it was out in front of the house.
Mm-hmm. They're out there having a conversation, and in the background, you can see the truck. And then all of a sudden, someone just like appears on the path in the black t-shirt.
With a hand truck, a dolly system. It was on one of the trips where Kody and Dayton were moving mattresses around or something. Yeah, trips back and forth from the truck. But they took a rest stop out front and and Kody was talking to Robyn. And you just see it just right out of the background there on the sidewalk up to the front door.
So they hired movers.
That explains a lot.
They hired movers, which we know Janelle has been a big advocate of movers and has had them.
Yeah.
Where was Meri during all this? For someone who bitched and moaned and cried about how family is family and family helps you move, and why was nobody coming to help her move?
I think she was still sitting up in a closet and rocking back and forth and trying to calm down from her fire experience.
So this happened before the fire, because that's how all these trailers and things get full with Robyn's stuff.
Oh,
right?
Dear.
I think that's how the timeline technically worked. I'm not 100% sure on that, but based on what they said,
I feel like Robyn just has that much stuff.
yeah, it's just always been there.
Yeah. There's always a trailer full of Robyn stuff
Just
somewhere.
full of all of Robyn's Christmas angels,
'Cause
random statues, figurines, precious moments dolls, Victoria's Secret buys.
Because then is this the point where Robyn's kitchen? What was going on there? There's got to be a truckload of just spices.
Oh, okay, this upset me deeply. It's moving day. Nothing is worse than showing up to help someone move, and their shit is still all unpacked, especially the food. She has so much food on the cabinets, and it is not organized in any way. It does not look like it was ever organized at any point. It's just all kinds of random shit shoved onto these shelves. It was horrific.
Just loose open counter space of baked goods, spices, random assortments of food products.
I was also confused. Like, was she in the kitchen?
I thought she was by the fridge. Yeah, I thought she was by the kitchen.
I wasn't sure. It was so disturbing that I wasn't sure if she was in like an extra room. Like a back room, maybe that
like
had an extra fridge.
Makeshift pantry.
Yeah, a place you would hide from other people so that they can't see your mess.
I hope so.
I'm not sure, but it did not bring me joy.
No. Marie Kondo did not approve of this move.
No.
Not at all.
I hope that Robyn does a better job organizing all this shit when she puts it into her $900,000 house, because that thing will turn into a trash pit real quick.
Got to teach Ariella how to fold the clothes and spark joy.
Robyn still thinks they're going to find a rental and back out of buying this house.
4 days. Yeah, you still got 4 days.
Still doesn't understand earnest money. They are moving into the house again because it is their short-term rental at this time. And they're walking down the hallways. They're showing everybody the rooms. It's supposed to be a moment of excitement and joy for the family, but it's pretty somber still because they're not walking into the house saying we own this. They're still in this limbo of if we don't close, we might not be here too long.
We might be moving out of here in less than 4 days. Yeah.
Don't unpack your suitcase.
Dayton just collapses from exhaustion on his bed. He's like, is this my room? I hope it is. And just completely zonks out.
Robyn is showing Saul around and he immediately drags his hands on the walls all the way down the hallway. You know, that perturbed me.
Yeah, I guess it's like a little boy thing.
Get your little grubby paws off the walls. We don't even own this house yet. We are paying a lot of money to live here today and hopefully tomorrow, but we don't know.
We don't know.
So take your Cheeto-covered fingers and get them off the walls.
I can't have it.
The sad thing is that the kids actually like the house.
Yeah.
So let's see how long it takes for Robyn to now convince Kody that they should stay in this house permanently. It's close enough to Coyote Pass. For anyone who doesn't know, this house is like a block over. You can see Coyote Pass.
It overlooks
from the backyard.
Coyote Pass.
It overlooks it. You know, we're close enough. Have the other wives build down there. I'll stay up on my heel. Overlooking all of them. Towering over them.
I feel the heel is real good, Kody. Except for when you're parking a truck, because that is where they butt heads.
Learn about that in a little bit. So Robyn is still holding out for this rental. She's got a plan though. She found another house. She's ready to go. She's ready to go out to Sedona, which is about 30 minutes away. At least the house is about 30 minutes away on the way to Sedona.
My Sedona.
And Kody says, fuck no. He can't be that far away from his kids.
That's super far.
Which kids?
The kids. These kids. My kids.
This is my thought. If Robyn demands to rent and live that far away, then Kody should live with one of his other 3 wives and not primarily with her, like he does.
Interesting.
Instead of worrying about how am I going to drive back and forth, he's already talking about how he drives like an hour already getting to all these houses, and they're all in Flagstaff. How is he going to do this if he's out 30 plus minutes away, and he's got to do all these drives? You know, which kids aren't going to get to see him? Obviously not Robyn's kids.
Count your blessings, blessings in disguise.
And I think this is going to be interesting because it seems like they're foreshadowing that there may be some difficulty with closing on this house. They've just been talking about it a lot and how we're this many days out from closing. You never really know how a closing is going to go. I'm still holding out for a rental.
I feel like it's just to build the tension.
Maybe.
They had nothing else really to kind of stack this because obviously we exhausted the debate between buying versus renting
a long time ago.
The past 3 weeks. So we still did get a taste of that because Robyn was still talking about renting with 4 days to close.
Now they have all Robyn's shit packed up into these 2 moving trucks.
Big. Those are big trucks too.
Big trucks. And they need to park them somewhere.
I got just the spot in mind. Let me tell you, Carly.
So, of course, where do they head out to?
Coyote Pass.
Because what better way to utilize a piece of land that you bought for $800,000 than as a parking lot?
It's perfect. We bought the pond. That's just the start. Okay.
Multi-purpose.
We're driving right up into Meri's trees. We know she's not into trees anymore. She doesn't want to be in the trees. But we're going to need those trees for shade for the U-Hauls.
Yeah, the second they pull up in there, Robyn starts eyeing up those trees, Meri's trees.
She busts out her sundial. Mm-hmm. She starts plotting the path of the sun in the sky and how much exposure these U-Hauls are willing to risk, full of their stuff.
She wants to make sure that she parks close enough to the Witch of the Woods so that she can overlook their possessions.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, protect
them.
She owes them. She owes them.
But then she realizes there's a heel under the trees, and heels are bad.
Yeah, heels are not easy to deal with.
No.
At all.
They are not. It's especially bad if you park up a heel because everything in your van will shift.
It goes on a tilt.
It tilts. And then when you try to open the door,
you get keeled. It all spills out on you and crushes you.
It spills out and crushes you. Maybe she should have let Kody park. Well, Cody's not worth a lot to them dead. We already learned that in an earlier episode this season.
Janelle ran those numbers a while ago, and it did not come up positive.
So what makes the most sense to Robyn now that the trees are out because of the heel?
Just park it on the road.
Yeah, here's a perfectly good road right here. It's nice and flat. Let's just park the trucks there. And Kody has to explain what a road is.
This is a road, Robyn. Yeah, well, I never see any cars here. Robyn, there's literally tracks in the dirt from vehicles using this road, which we are legally obligated to allow access to because it's an easement. That's what it is.
Yeah, Robyn doesn't give two fucks if there's a gas emergency and they need to access that pipeline ASAP.
She would learn so fast what a gas line easement is if there was an emergency, because if those trucks were sitting there and they had to access that, they would smash through those trucks.
It would be like a cartoon.
It would be done and over with so fast. And then she would always remember what an easement means.
So this seems like a really stupid place to park these trucks for multiple reasons.
It's so close to the picnic tables.
I was also like, where did this picnic table come from?
It was when he did the camping. He brought them all out.
So they bought picnic tables?
I've heard from people online that they've been hauling these picnic tables around.
Who?
The Browns.
They just have...
They own picnic tables.
What?
And this is not their first
or
sort
final
of
destination.
I would strongly assume that it is not their final destination. There have been multiple iterations of these picnic furniture in use from the Browns at various locations.
Okay, well, that explains why that was there. So at least they have a mile marker.
It's like
once you see the picnic table, that's where the trucks were parked.
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text. The long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever.
State Farm knows making smarter financial moves today secures your financial freedom for a second tomorrow. On My Cultura Podcast Network, we believe this too by sharing money management tips that help you realize your dreams. Like on our show, Life as a Gringo with DJ Dramos.
Now we have a level of privilege that our parents never had. So what do we do with it, right? How do we utilize the opportunities that we have that they don't, right? And a lot of that is educating ourselves on how to not make the same mistakes they did, how to not fall into those same traps, and how to not, create the same difficult situations that many of us grew up in. Like I started the podcast earlier saying, for me, in my family, one of the biggest points of contention was finances. And I know as I gotten older, I made it a promise to myself to say, I don't want to relive that.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm, proud sponsor of My Cultura Podcast Network.
Hey, it's Sharon, and here's where it gets interesting. Raise your hand if you want salon perfect nails for just $2 a manicure. Yeah, me too. With the Olive & June Mani system, you can say goodbye to expensive services that take hours and hours and love your nails more than ever. I would know. I've been doing it for years. Get 20% off your first Mani system with code PERFECTMANI20 at oliveandjune.com/PERFECTMANI20. That's PERFECTMANI20 at oliveandjune.com/PERFECTMANI20.
No one knows better than HR that happy colleagues make happy businesses. With the world's largest online mental health provider, you get access to over 35,000 therapists, a match in as little as 24 hours, and that's not all. We onboard your people in days, not months, with no upfront fees and pay-as-you-go pricing. Now that's better. BetterHelp Business. Now get back to business with that podcast of yours.
Expand the way you work and think with Claude by Anthropic. Whether brainstorming solo or working with a team, Claude is AI built for you. It's perfect for analyzing images and graphs, generating code, processing multiple languages, and solving complex problems. Plus, Claude is incredibly secure, trustworthy, and reliable, so you can focus on what matters. Curious? Visit claude.ai and see how Claude can elevate your work.
But Dayton gets very confused because Robyn's calling. Well, they establish a plan. They decide to do something. And then while it's in motion, he gets a call from Robyn telling him to do something completely different. So the poor kid is stuck trying to kind of accomplish both tasks at the same time, but he really can't.
Well, the big mistake is he listened to Robyn.
He listened to Robyn, but it's his mom. So, I mean, you listen to mom.
They have to repark, which whatever they do. They get the two trucks backed up butt to butt.
Butt to butt.
And the reason for that is to make sure that it's more difficult for people to try to break into said trucks.
Yeah, hopefully there's padlocks on there too, because that's usually a pretty big deterrent, is when the trucks are locked. But if the trucks are just ass to ass and they're not locked, you can still pretty easily get in there.
I don't know whether they were locked or not, but you have four houses. You couldn't park one of those anywhere?
The RV pad at Janelle's is all booked up. It's the big trailer full of Meri stuff now. The emergency trailer is full.
Other thing that concerned me. Typically, when you take insurance out on a moving truck, that doesn't cover any of your possessions should they be stolen.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
So who knows? Do they have homeowners insurance? I mean, they don't own a home right now. Do they have renter's insurance that is going to cover that? Who knows? But maybe not the best place to park.
Can they see it from the new house? It overlooks Coyote Pass, so hopefully they have visual.
I don't know that they made sure to find a location that they could see. I assume not, since Robyn was trying to park under the trees.
She was trying to bury them in the up in the trees. Like, they'll never find them up here.
Maybe they should just mount a ring cam underneath the picnic table and point it at the trucks.
Yeah, ding dong. Say what you will about all these moves. Dayton has a career.
Have skills. Yeah.
Dayton has a career path now because the dude was 100% solid on directing Kody to back this truck up against the other truck. He was giving him direction. He had him lined up. That was a good move.
Very good job.
Good stuff.
Kudos. Possible future valet. What else could you do with that?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Professional mover.
The
Brown Family Moving Company.
Janelle will hire you. That's a fact.
Back in North Carolina, Maddie is trying to push this labor along.
She's trying to, yeah.
It's already gone on too long. We don't want to watch it anymore either. And she's done with it also. Kody and Christine are now coming to join them because Janelle's already there. And they want to be there for the birth if they make the flight.
Yeah, it turns out that they have an hour until their flight is set to depart.
And they haven't left the house yet.
Christine's going to be swinging by to pick Kody up here momentarily.
That was also interesting. You're going to the airport with each other the next day. Why don't you just stay at Christine's house? Where are you? Whose house are you at?
Mystery.
That she's got to swing by to pick you up before she gets to the airport.
He's parking U-Hauls at Coyote Pass. He's checking on the U-Hauls. Ass to ass.
Maddie gives us my post-COVID-19 hashtag for the summer. Done being fat and bitchy. Can't wait to hashtag that.
It's a good one.
Let's talk about the most disturbing part of this, though.
The pizza at the hotel.
Yes, but also, you know what gets on my nerves. Everyone is meeting up at this hotel together. It's where they're all staying because, again, Maddie's birthing center is like hours away from where they live.
It's like a Red Roof Inn, and so they have to go stay at the Motel 6 down the road.
But Axel and Maddie have no shoes or socks on in this hotel room. And that disturbs me greatly. PSA.
I think this is just for you.
No, it is. This is not just for me.
I'm pretty sure this is just for you.
I want people to tweet us at surviving_pod. If you make sure that when you go in a hotel, you do not touch that carpet.
Carly's getting
The carpet is lava.
Carly's getting as fired up as Meri's forest fire right now about this. This is a cause she can get behind.
You have to wear socks at the very least. You always bring slippers with you. You got to have something to put your feet in at all times. You do not want your feet to touch the hotel room floor, especially the carpet.
I've done enough traveling.
No, rancid.
I've done enough traveling
covered
to know
in bacteria.
that it's not
You're going to get athlete's foot. That's the very least of things that could happen to you. Who knows what you'll pick up.
It's not always possible, especially when you got a kid running around. You haven't slept in 3 days and you're just dealing with contractions on a daily basis trying to crap this kid out.
I feel like someone put his goddamn socks on.
Get this kid out of here. Get this kid out of me.
Janelle has kicked Kody out of her room.
It's about time.
She wants to go to sleep.
It's not the first time.
It must have been a really long day for her because she flew from Arizona to, it seems like this is all the same day, doesn't it?
North Carolina.
Maybe not, but she's been primarily taking care of Axel, it seems like, or at least trying to preoccupy him the most of the time. And she's tired, just like Maddie is tired. They just want to go to sleep. And Janelle just wants to get rid of Kody. So she says, just go stay with Christine because I can't deal with you. I'm tired. I'm not going to deal with you pulling the covers. So
I just want to sleep.
So Janelle.
Very autonomous.
She never wants Kody to sleep.
Very, very upfront about what she needs, what she wants, and what she's comfortable with.
Decisive.
Yes. This is what I need right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you accommodate? Thank you.
Now, once they have some privacy because they go back to a separate hotel room, Kody asks Janelle to give him kind of like the rundown of what's been going on since before they've gotten there. And he is annoyed because he's being inconvenienced by the unpredictability of birth.
An hour by hour basis, you know.
He doesn't know when this is going to be done and over with, when he can head back to Flagstaff and move on to the next thing and the next person who needs him.
He's got a wife back in Flagstaff who doesn't even have a home.
No. Kody, crawl out of Robyn's ass for like 48 hours. And be there for the rest of your family.
Because, dude, 2 weeks ago, you had 2 wives that didn't have homes. Like, that was an issue. And one, Meri, you didn't even help her at all with any of that. She found her own rental. She probably hired Janelle's movers that came highly recommended from her.
I hope she caved on that this
time. I
time.
hope she did. It seems like she did because at least TLC had the wisdom not to film another Meri move, especially when they had...
They probably did. And they were like, this one's so much better.
This one's way better. Yeah, we got to keep the firestorm, Meri.
Kody is sick from the level of stress, which I'm glad that he finally is getting to experience what he puts the rest of his family through on a regular basis. And we get an ominous to be continued, as if we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Does Maddie have a baby?
I don't know.
Does she birth a dog?
She had to return it.
A puppy?
She had to send it back.
What happens? Who knows?
Yeah.
It only happened months ago.
They're going to drag this out for 2 more weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Not even talking about dragging out the season. I'm talking about dragging out Maddie's birth. That's going to last another 2 weeks.
Yeah, it is, because the next episode is called Baby Steps. And then the one following that is 2 moms, their daughter, and a baby.
Eesh.
We have 2 more episodes of watching Maddie give birth.
I didn't even want to watch this one of her giving birth because she didn't really give birth, but they were trying to make it seem like this was it. This was it.
The only saving grace of next episode is that it looks like Kody and Meri finally go back to marriage counseling.
Ay. I hope Dr. Pepper's there.
I hope that they spend like 40 minutes of the episode just in this therapy session. Like, I just want to see the unedited footage of them in this therapy session.
That would be great.
If TLC had a Patreon, I would pay to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see all the rest of this garbage with Maddie thinking she's in labor. And then who knows what else she's going to do. It looks like we're going to watch her get in a tub, get on a ball, get on a bed, all kinds of things. I don't need to see it. I need to see Meri and Kody confronting each other.
That's what the world needs.
So, again, where would this show be if we didn't have Meri?
We would be...
It would be boring as fuck.
We'd be inside Maddie's vaginal canal. They would have a GoPro up in there.
That would be all we'd be watching.
Yeah, and then it would be canceled immediately.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and leaving an iTunes review.
You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Podbean.
You can follow us on Twitter at surviving_pod, where we live tweet the new episodes every Sunday.
Big thanks to you, our fellow survivors out there. You're not alone, and we can all get through this together.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next week.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.